Welcome to Eventing Live. My name is Amanda Hughes, and I help women and couples smile more, stress less, and look and feel their best during their event planning experience. Here are my co-hosts, Josh and Kwa.
What's up, everybody?
What's up, guys? How are you?
Well, we were delayed last week because of the power outage, so we're back here now, right?
No, like I feel terrible that I don't have like a majorly great one-liner, but at the same time, I haven't yet come up with one. So I think like I need another minute or two or 5 or 45, and maybe next time I'll get a great one. But yeah, excited to be here.
You guys have so many great things about you and your businesses. We're gonna have to come up with something.
I think so. I would let you come up with it for me because I think like sometimes when I say about myself, they're like, "Oh, what do you do?" I'm like, "I'm a creative director of merchandise design, and I do whatever it takes to get whatever it is done." Period. Is that a good one? You like that one? Or no?
We can use parts of that. I like it. Where the heck are you, Josh?
I am right in the hotel room on a job setup. I ran back for this. I'm running off. It's actually really nice because there's air conditioning here. And I'm not standing outside sweating my face off under a clear tent that makes it 100 degrees hotter.
With a mask on?
So thankfully, it's a very small team today, so everyone's really just spread out, so we don't need a mask. But tomorrow is going to be, I don't know, 90 degrees and mask worthy, so it's going to be difficult. I'm not excited. I'm not excited.
So just a reminder to everyone, please hold your questions until the end, but we are totally open to comments and lots of love towards us. So we wanted to talk about a few things today. We have so much on our minds. Number one, businesses coming together, alliances, some businesses merging. Let's talk about that.
Okay. Have you been hearing a lot about that, Amanda?
I have been hearing from different companies that they're merging together or thinking about it just to stay around instead of going out of business. And then regarding business alliances, I mean, personally, I definitely have gotten closer to other event planners during this time. It used to feel more competitive, and now it feels definitely more friendly and just like
I feel you on that completely. I totally hear you. I mean, from our perspective, like we've been working a lot closer with tons of other, what used to be competitors. And now we're just like, hey, if we're having some jobs, we're taking on too much, we're happy to pass it along to other florists or other producers. I happen to think it's a great collaboration. I'm obsessed with it, happens to be. We all love what we do and we all do it really well. I just think that we all have our clientele, and yes, we all get clients from each other and social media and so on and so forth. But there's this certain like community that you're always carried by, and you're what are they called? Not your legendary clients, but your I guess your clients for a long time, whatever those are called. I forgot about that. I forgot the name.
I'm a huge
legacy client. There it is. Your legacy clients.
I'm a huge advocate. I'm a huge advocate on alliances. You need to create an alliance. Right now, we're doing an alliance, right? We're totally different groups over here, and we're aligning ourselves to. Technically we all need each other to put an event together, right? Yeah, we're the memory lane of side of things.
Obviously, you have certain things in common, right? If we're all in this industry, we have to have certain things in common. I was just talking to a planner about this yesterday, and I was saying we have to meet up and hang out even if we're social distancing, because obviously we both love planning. So we have that in common already.
Meet up on Zoom, you mean, or?
What'd you say?
You meet up on Zoom, you mean? Oh, you meet up in person?
No, social distancing.
That's very funny. No, I agree with you. I think that's so good. I mean, you guys definitely have the planning thing in common. I'm sure you guys have stuff you can learn from each other. And you know what I found actually really interesting during this entire process has been actually getting together with people when it comes to pricing. Because when it comes to pricing, more than not, I think in the competitive market, people are willing to lower their pants a little bit just to get the job. And I think now in this like really, I want to say temperamental climate that we're in, right? I find that by communicating with your other industry peers, you're no longer beating each other down, but rather building each other up and saying, listen, we know how much harder it is right now. We know how much more goes into it. We know how much we need to get our price now in order to keep our companies alive, right? and we're not going to like break each other down for the sake of just grabbing the job. Now it's not just about doing the job and getting it done well. It's about doing the job, getting it done well, making sure that everything goes according to plan, and on top of it, staying afloat beyond the job. So I think collaborating with other event industry peers is probably the best thing that could have happened out of all this for me.
But are you trying, when you say you're working out pricing, are you trying to be very competitive with, not competitive in a negative way, but aligned in pricing with each other?
I think so. I think, isn't that better? Like, we're not sure. The point is, beforehand, when there was tons of business everywhere, it was okay to lower your pants to get the job. And I'm not saying it's not okay. Like, now our pricing is better than it's been in a very long time. So I'm not in the least bit like referring to that. I'm more referring to the fact that like, I don't want to chew out my competitor for a job that neither of us are going to make money on. So rather, don't let us beat each other down. Let one of us, whoever's the one that got the call first, let them take the cake by not saying to the client, oh, I'm going to come in cheaper because I want the business, and still not make any money on it, because it's not like every job right now is a crazy money making job anyway. So it's kind of like that feeling, I think.
That's interesting. Kwai, are you going through the same?
Well, yeah, I look at it differently. I don't think about it from, I mean, yes, clients will always go about, from a pricing standpoint, I think clients will always want a cheaper price. But our approach is always about adding more value to the client. And so it's not about being cheaper. It's adding, hey, can you spend $1,000 more, but you're gonna feel like you're gonna get $2,000 worth of work, or $2,000 worth of value. That's how
can you do that right now? How do you do that right now? How do you add more value right now?
Well, you could do it in an abstract way with better experiences, better customer service, making sure that the transparency is extremely important. I think you could sell a client on a really big package if you could be extremely transparent with how you do things. And a lot of vendors aren't that transparent, and that's where they fall flat on their face, and so they can't price it out correctly. And they say, what do you mean charging me $10,000 for what? You know, because you did a video? No, you got to be transparent on what the process of the video is, what the experience is like, who you're wheeling in, and yeah, then you're able to do that.
Yeah. I get it.
I kind of feel like it's a drop different. Like, now, I think, yes, Kwai, you're 100% correct about bringing your A game and bringing more to the client, giving a lot more value. That's like a personal thing. But what I'm referring to in terms of collaboration, and I think we spoke about this word emerging, in a sense where like now two companies that might have been struggling can build together as opposed to fall apart. I think in the same way we can help our peers by not tearing them down by trying to undercut. And I think that's something that, yes, we saw in yesteryear's world, but now in COVID, I think that we're a little bit more sensitive to the fact that everyone needs to eat. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Right. Like, I mean, that's just my personal opinion. Like, we had an event, just to like bring it home for a second. We had an event this past weekend, and it was a small wedding, called me out of the blue. It was not a major moneymaker at all, but for the sake of a relationship, and who knows if they'll make another wedding. They're supposed to make another wedding either at the end of this year or the beginning of next, hopefully, who knows, or next year, whatever it is. So to form the relationship, I'm like, of course I'll jump in. Halfway through the process, I mean, I'm talking about like the 8 days they gave me to design and give them a price and produce this party. A whole
8 days?
A whole 8 days. That's been a breath of fresh air, by the way, for us. But it was a whole 8 days. But in the middle of the process, the lighting company says to me, oh, do you know who had this job before you? And I'm like, had this job before me? I thought this was a last minute thing. They're like, no, they let somebody go because you were cheaper. And I'm like,
oh, damn.
That is
like they gave me their budget. I'm like, I just worked within their budget. And I called that other florist. He never answered, but I called that other florist to like say to him, I'm willing to back off the job and say, I didn't know that this was happening.
Can I just thank you for that? Can I just personally thank you for that? Because that does not happen most times. That doesn't happen. And people actually have been quite nasty recently. So I've noticed. So thank you for being that person, because it's just so unique and special, and it shows what kind of person you are.
Thank you. I'm a big believer in this. I think that everyone has to eat, and there's enough for people to eat. I mean, now it's harder. There's no question about it. But there should be no reason for any of us to have to, again, take a job that's not so great to begin with, just for the sake of not getting killed by clients. I'm not saying that every job is not an amazing opportunity and there's nothing that you're bringing to the table by giving us the event. We're grateful for it. However, I'm saying for the sake of like putting money in your pocket that you're only going to spend a week later on payroll because you don't have another job that week during these times is not really called money making.
But that's an interesting topic because, you know, do you want to lower your pricing so for right now and then increase it again, or do you want to try to maintain it? I haven't really changed my pricing for this year.
I think it's a bit. I also think it's based on your business model too, right? See, we do 500 weddings a year. Well, you know, not this year, but you know, usually we do that. And so in order we know that we could fill in Friday, Saturday, and Sundays, 15 weddings in a weekend. And if we don't, then we try to figure out how to fill it in. If there's no work in there, if we could supply more work for our crew and someone else to get to eat and stuff, then yeah, we're willing to lower the prices because those days are not filled up. And, you know, so I think it's a case by case scenario in my opinion.
Yeah.
Again, there's no judgment now. I'm just saying in terms of like taking it out of someone else's mouth, I think is slightly different for the benefit of the client at the end of the day, not for the benefit of yourself necessarily. That's what I'm more referring to. And I'm all about the clients. Like I pride our company is all about service, client first, say yes, say yes, say yes. So like, I'm all about it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not here to be like, you know, screw them, make the money and no,
I don't think anybody thinks you're saying that.
I just want to clarify because sometimes
are you afraid of what people are going to say?
Did you see what happened to me this week with my mask?
Yes.
What happened?
Because your nose, I didn't say anything, but I did see it. And I was like, interesting that it's lower than the nose. And then you said,
oh, yeah.
It was a bad mask. And the whole day it was just sliding off. I have a very big nose.
Can't have a picture like that right now.
I don't have time in my day to take retakes. I'm hungry. I'm running. The person's doing their job. I took a picture. I posted it twice. And I got I'm not kidding. I got over 50 DMs of nose exclamation point.
Wow.
Wow. Did you feel like a celebrity who had their baby wrong in a car seat?
I don't know what I felt like. I felt
they get slammed.
I felt like I had to explain myself. I felt like the tabloids came after me. So
okay, so that, but why did you feel like you had to explain yourself? Why didn't you just say, I know what I was doing?
Because I think it's twofold. I think on one hand, people are coming after you because they're just in a mood. And I think on the other hand, people are coming after you because they care about you and they want you to be healthy, good, and they want you to show a good example. Listen, we have, thank God, like a lot of followers and we have a lot of viewers especially on weekends. And, you know, maybe people are going to say like, if you do it, other people can do it. I don't know. So I wanted to respond by saying that I wasn't being inappropriate. I wasn't being like, you know, not careful. I just happened to have a nose issue.
You know what? It's crazy. It's crazy that the critic when we go to the wedding, I'm looking at nobody's wearing a mask. Like people they're wearing those plastic stuff where you know look like a retainer in front of their mouth. You know, and
I like the shield.
The shield, right?
Like
it looks like a retainer, by the way, and it's But I'm seeing most people not even wearing masks. As if nothing is happening. Nobody's social distancing. Like, you know, and then you're talking about people criticizing you because your mask is underneath your nose. That's insane. That's insane.
I have extreme opposites. I have clients who are like, don't come near me at all, and then I have clients who are like, not wearing a mask doesn't. And there's no judgment. Everyone has to feel comfortable with what is, whatever makes them feel comfortable right now. I'm going with that. And I have to feel comfortable, of course. So if I'm going close to someone, I'm wearing a mask. But I said, if I'm outside and far away from people, I'd rather not wear a mask so I can breathe better. It's very hard, especially when it's so hot out.
Considering that you're a health freak,
like we were saying.
Hot out. Can we talk about that for a second? Could we please talk about this for a second? Because honestly, I thought I'd be way skinnier by now. I'm not even kidding. I am outside all day now. People are like, "Oh my gosh, you have such a golden thing." I'm like, my skin does not the sun doesn't affect me anymore. I've been out for too long. I feel like I live outdoors. It is so hot. And then you're working and you have to wear professional clothes and blazers and t-shirts and like jeans and like sneakers and you're dead. You're
Wait,
dead.
let me just ask you a question. Did you just say professional and then you just said jeans?
Yeah, and sneakers.
It's very professional, creative professional. It's different.
Okay, I could never wear jeans and sneakers.
I wear jeans and sneakers and now I only wear black shirts. It's like my new thing.
Your new thing.
Oh,
So that's interesting. A lot of planners wear black to events and weddings. I don't ever wear black unless I have a pop of color with it. It's
really?
to me, I'm like, no, we have to fit. We have to fit whatever the event is. For you, for a guy, I feel like it's a little different. But for
My suits are usually very flashy, just FYI.
flashy,
I like flashy suits. It's my thing. I don't know. I like it a lot. I like suits. I have a suit addiction. I want a new suit every week. I love them. I'm grateful I get them. Every time I get a new one, I'm excited. I just like suits. I love suits. Suits are my thing. I like them.
I don't attend enough weddings. So when I do, I don't even have a black suit. I don't wear anything. I just wear normal clothes, t-shirt, and
why
a
you like
jacket.
a good blazer?
Yeah,
You
I'm
like
a
a good
blazer.
blazer.
I'm a blazer. I just wear a blazer and a t-shirt, and I go to a wedding like that. Nobody says anything.
I'd throw
No,
you
because
out.
you what?
That's if I go.
said
I
I'd
mean,
throw 'em
I
out.
barely go to a wedding though.
I layer. I learned very early on I have to layer because you could be like so hot outside and then go inside and be freezing. And I remember wearing a coat at a wedding early on and I was like, okay, I need to start layering. So we're like 5 different things.
Layers. Oh, layers are so
Pairs of
good.
shoes.
I love the fall. It hides everything.
You love
Yeah. I love the fall because you get to hide everything.
what? What, your bootay?
Love handles, bootay, boubet, everything. Everything gets hidden.
Oh my God. Okay, guys. So let's talk about some celeb gossip right now. Or not gossip, things going on.
Celebs. Go
So
for
last night, Morgan Stewart announced she's having a girl. We didn't even know she was pregnant. I'm so excited for her. She's on Daily Pop and she just has a Morgan Stewart line. I love her. So I was really excited to see that.
it. I like
Um,
it.
You like her too? Yeah, she's cool.
Congratulations, Maureen.
She's just her and she's funny.
Young, she's cool. She's cool. I like her.
Yeah. And then Demi Lovato got engaged. So this was now, probably a week and a half ago that she got engaged, but very quickly. So we're seeing in the quarantine time, people are either getting engaged or breaking up, usually, or
The process of what's happening.
yeah. So I'm so happy for her. She deserves to be happy. She's gone through so much and I could not be happier. I was really excited to see that. It seems like a really special.
Yeah,
But she's not gonna get married anytime soon. She's gonna go. You know, she probably just gets engaged and maybe engaged for 3 years, right? After COVID.
I feel like they got engaged very quickly. I think they were only dating.
I like them a lot. I want to do their wedding. Guys, hit us up.
Celebrity
I
wedding.
love that there was like silence.
Why not? You never know. By the way, can I tell you something really funny? I mean, it's kind of embarrassing, but whatever. So before the Met Ball last year, J-Lo was staying at, I think, the Peninsula Hotel or something like that. And I had a daydream concocted in my head that I walked into the Peninsula Hotel and she was just like waiting for her stuff to go. And I introduced myself. I just said to her, I want to do your wedding. And she said, okay, to come take a ride with me. We have like 15 minutes uptown or whatever it is. And it'd be like, I went in and we discussed her wedding. And in the end, we became besties and I did her wedding.
I love that was like a very long daydream because usually daydreams are very quick because I met J-Lo, cool. But this was like a real dream, but you were awake.
A long time, a really long time. Also because I happened to have seen her a few weeks before and I decided to do that cool thing where you don't say anything because you're like, I want to be the guy who says nothing.
Yeah.
But then you realize by saying nothing, you get nowhere.
Right.
Josh,
I've always said something.
Josh,
I actually made it.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, man.
What?
I'm sorry about that. I
I
wanted
was
to
going
ask
to say,
you.
I made it a thing that I would always go to someone and say hello if I felt like I I would regret it.
Wait, Qua, what were you gonna say?
I was saying,
I'm scared.
what celebrity weddings have you done so far?
Okay, so I've done social media celebrities. So I've done Girl with No Job, Claudia Oshry, who's hilarious. Her sister Jackie Oshry, right? I did Olivia Oshry, all the sisters, which is really cool. There's one more, Margot, get married, let's do it. And I did Ashley and Jared, whose anniversary is today.
Happy anniversary.
That was so
We're
crazy.
talking about it.
That was unbelievable. That was so fun. 1 hour to flip a room. It's so exciting. When it shuts down and decides to become a venue in like a half minute. That was really awesome. And I think that was it. We spoke to a couple of the other Bachelor people. It was on and off. We were talking to I guess I shouldn't say her name, but we were in the midst of talking to somebody else, but she had to move her wedding. So maybe we'll be on there soon. We'll see. We get hit up every now and then. Oh, and all the Betches girls. You know the Betches girls?
Yes, I love them.
I did her wedding. I did Ashley's wedding. I'm doing Sammy's wedding.
You are?
Next week.
Oh, wow. I just love that. I'm not allowed to talk about who I've done.
Yeah, we got like an NDA with.
I'm not. I have to. I'm hopeful that I will be allowed at some point with certain people, but yeah.
Oh no, I didn't do anyone else. I think that's we were supposed to do a couple. Oh wait,
that was a dream. That was a dream.
No. We were supposed to do a couple of football players, and their weddings got postponed until next year. So hopefully next year we have to do that.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's cool to be able to say that like from where we came from to the fact that we even have access to even potentially get those opportunities are pretty cool. And it's even more fun when they're like good people and they're so appreciative and they're grateful for what you did for them and they treat you like any other client, and it's a beautiful thing. Do you guys hear that? Sorry.
So talking about you talked about like this. I don't know why it came up with those split weddings. It's like multiple day weddings. You want to talk about that, Amanda? You want to kick that part off?
Well, I wanted to talk about Megan Fox first, but we can if you want to talk.
Tell us about Megan Fox and her twin soul.
Yes. So I wanted to talk about this because this is really, there's some controversy going on around it. We cannot get down about love, in my opinion. If people love each other, it's exciting and it's wonderful. The controversy is she was married and then she's now with Machine Gun Kelly. They were friends supposedly, and now they came out that they're twin souls. Twin souls,
yeah.
So, she has kids. There's just a lot of controversy around it. And what do you guys think? Do you love that they came out with it? Would you rather to stay private? What do you think for their families? I would love to hear from you.
Juicy. Cool, I'm letting you take this one.
I personally don't care what's going on in the industry. As simple as that. I don't. You know what? I got kids. I got a wife. I got a business to take care of. I could give a damn about what Megan Fox is actually doing. So I mean, Josh.
I think that's so funny. Oh, Josh feels exactly the same way. Josh is busy, bro.
It's not about busy. I think everybody. Listen, I stayed up till 2:45 working last night. I think everybody's busy. It's just more like, it comes out, and obviously you have an opinion. You can't say I have no opinion.
Anybody who's on that spiritual level with somebody else, like, good for you. Like, good for you. Enjoy. Like, it sucks for the husband. It sucks for the kids. It sucks for the family. But at the end of the day, like, and I'm not saying I'm for it. I'm just saying, like, if she feels that connected to it, then I think that if she kept that a secret, it's probably way worse. No?
Well, I guess it's more of, this was back with Angelina Jolie. Should they have kept it for a few years and then said it instead of a month after leaving her husband? Or, right? That's more of the question of not, do you believe in the love? Of course, but
I feel.
Come on, be honest, be real.
I'm being honest. I think Megan Fox, first of all, extremely hot.
She's gorgeous. She like.
What's the last movie she's done?
Perfection.
What's the last movie she's done? What's the last movie she's done?
We don't care. She's perfection.
Beautiful. Who cares what the last movie was?
He did Ninja Turtles, I think, right? Am I saying the wrong thing?
Ninja Turtles?
I don't know. Who cares? And who cares? The point is, she found her. So I don't know. When she says we were like soul twins, I think of like a lovebird. I think of a dove that had two hearts and died early because of it. I don't know. I don't know. Like whatever makes her happy. Who cares? Like I think it's great. So cool.
Yeah.
That's a pretty deep thing to say.
It is. They were both saying it. I was just, I think, shocked that they were saying it already because it was like, whoa.
Out of nowhere.
Anyway, so yes, we can talk about the weddings being not split, but having this all of a sudden people want to get married now. And it's not to say they're not also going to have a larger wedding in the near future. I created a package actually for the two together where I'm having backyard weddings and then in the future, in the next year or two, having the bigger wedding. But that's becoming a big thing for all of us, right?
It's a big issue.
100.
It's not. I don't think it's a big thing. I don't know. If it's an issue or an opportunity.
Why is it an issue?
Well, the things that the clients are asking us to, hey, can you give us a split wedding for the price of the exact same price?
Oh,
So you're asking my crew to come out. Let me get this straight. You're asking my crew to go out for a half a day, right? From travel, getting up, coming from New York, blah, blah, blah. Not pay them, but pay them next year for that the 1 day job.
No.
That's what they're asking us.
Okay, well then say no.
That's what they're asking us.
That's what you have to say no to. I'm not having that experience. What I'm getting is we want to make a beautiful event now. We don't know for sure if we're going to do a great event later. So we want to make this epic. And if we feel like we missed something, then we will make another wedding later.
So
That's
what what we're doing is we're creating we're starting this week creating mini packages. We could do mini packages, we could renegotiate the contracts, those type of stuff. But I want to make sure that we're getting the value of what we're producing, and we're getting. Otherwise, it's not. I don't want them canceling the wedding with us. And so it's just kind of like, So but they got to be reasonable too. They're just asking, hey, we want a split wedding, and we're not negotiating with you. We don't want to do this.
We got to have the price. To me. It doesn't make sense why someone would think that splitting up a wedding would be the same cost as
I don't know.
One day.
I don't know.
You're making two events.
Yeah.
It's time times two. It's crazy. No, I don't agree with that at all, and I haven't seen that. So let's hang out.
That's interesting. We're all having very different experiences. Okay. Josh, you're having where people want to get married now, they're not sure about later. Qua, you're having where they want to split it and have the same cost. I'm having where they want to have a small one now and then a bigger one later. It's very interesting. We're all getting different.
You know what the common thread here is? That it's happening now, which I think back 3-4 weeks ago wasn't a thing. It's funny how many people have reached out to us over the past 3 to 4 weeks who have decided that now they're going to celebrate in the fall, which is crazy because we were not even sure what the summer was going to be like. And now we're getting phone calls for the fall, which is so cool. And people who are just like fed up and they're like, you know what, we're going to do 15, 16, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 people in our backyard. And whatever it is, it is. And it's going to be great because you're going to make it great. And I went out to God knows where, but that's the worst part is traveling to these places I've never even been to in my life.
You go far. I've seen it.
So far. I'm in the car for 8 to 10 hours a day going to see venues or houses for 30-person weddings. But those 30 people, to them, are their whole world. And they're willing to go all out for them and make an amazing, memorable wedding. And whatever happens later, happens later.
See, I have an offering for that where you make it huge, the experience for smaller guest count. I'm having more people say, I want a more simple, smaller one right now, and then to go all out with a bigger, because they want to be able to have a dance floor. Like right now you can't. They want to be able to hug their friends again. It's, I agree they're over it, but they can't be really right now.
No, when I say over it, I mean they're over the fact of waiting. I don't think that they're over the fact again, it's all within reason, but I'm finding more and more that we're getting reached out to by so many people to really pull this together and pull it together quickly and beautifully and correctly, which is the best part. And the best compliment you can get is when a bride or a family member calls you up and just says, I didn't feel like I missed anything. And then you're like,
the best.
Home run. Home run.
Because my
Yeah,
big
that's
thing is
great.
no settling. I don't want anybody to feel like they're settling right now.
I hear that. I
But
hear
they
that.
are.
That's the micro wedding.
They
to me.
are settling. They are
But
settling.
let's call it what it is.
They are settling.
They are
They don't want to do.
settling.
Who wants to do a backyard wedding? You know, they want.
That's not true. People
Yeah.
want to do a
People like it.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
wrong. People like it. It's turning out to be a thing, and it's a beautiful thing, and
Yeah.
it's intimate. Because here's what I said to someone the other day, and I think this is 100% the truth. You are not competing with any other bride in your own backyard. Not that there's something wrong with like going to the Plaza or the Pierre or any of the other amazing venues in New York City or anywhere else in the entire country and beyond. But when you walk in the doors where hundreds of brides have been there before, brides who have put a small centerpiece on the table and brides who have covered the ceiling in flowers, you are always in competition with the former version of yourself. Here, you get to do whatever you want to do on any level. You want to go to Michael's and wrap your trees in Christmas lights, hang a few lanterns from the ceiling. You are the only person who's done it there. And you are original. So you know what I do? I stand up and applaud those people and say, damn right, you're doing it good. And I'm totally for it.
The only negative or possible negative is that in a backyard, you either have to tent it if the weather's not great.
Yes, it's a pain. The logistics are a pain.
So
But at the end of the day, if you're willing to be flexible, it could be
Yeah.
awesome.
let me paint you a picture. So we did a. I'm not gonna name what couple it is, but I kind of felt bad, right? They did a beautiful backyard wedding, and when it was time to do their first dance, they looked at each other and says, "I guess we do a first dance," and there's no host, there's no MC.
Well, they didn't have a planner, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. So they go and all of a sudden it's like they go into the middle. No, because they don't want to say, hey, we're gonna do a first dance. So they just started playing the music and they did a first dance. Nobody was around and they all kind of started emerging, but they didn't know what was going on. I said, should we capture this? Is this a, it
That was
was
not
that.
done.
That's kind of, for me, I kind of felt bad. I was like, because they were trying their best.
Of course,
They were trying their
because
best.
you're human.
Like get out from behind the camera and be like, guys, do you need an MC? Do you need someone
Who
to
was gonna do it, Josh?
Who's gonna do that?
Claude should have done it.
Who was gonna do it?
Claude
He
let
was
that
like, take my camera.
We were live streaming.
Claude let that awkward moment
Live
happen.
streaming.
Claude should have turned that camera around and turned it into a selfie moment, hooked it onto whatever those crazy monsters are that walk around, and just done the damn thing the right way. Claude's your fault.
Next time, Quad, next time. Hopefully there's no next time with that kind of thing. No, see, this is when people are like, I'm just going to have a backyard small little wedding. And they don't realize, they don't think of the logistics. They think of, oh, I need a planner when I'm going to do something big. And if they're just doing something small, but it's things like that where who's telling you what to do next? Huh?
Planners are important and people are skipping them now and it's hard. It's hard on your vendors. It's hard on your vendors. And it is hard on you the day of. There's no question about it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I do say though to people when I'm first talking to them, either have a really good planner or don't have a planner. Because when you have a bad one, it actually makes everyone's lives much harder. Vendors, your life, everybody. So, but if you have a good one, you can relax much more. And the vendors are very happy. So
Yeah. Your team's everything.
yeah.
Trust in your team.
Yes. So let's talk about contracts because I want to see whether you guys have been going through the same thought process as I have. I'm sure from a planner perspective, it's a little bit different. But when I'm asking for a contract or when I'm going through one myself, I'm noticing some pandemic right on the top or COVID-19 or any kind of new health crisis on the top. And others are not including it at all. How do you guys feel? What have you been seeing and what are you doing?
I'll let you go first. Do your thing.
Well, we have we have a liability contract around COVID-19. We don't want and we do it on our crew as well. So it's hard. For us, it's hard because before it was more about, hey, we had to be mindful of our crew to go out to do the job because and they risk that they're gonna get sick, right? And then we had to have a liability contract with the client to let you know, hey, if you're not within the boundaries of the CDC protocols, the guidelines and stuff, right? Our crew has an opportunity to walk off the set, pretty much.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because if they're feeling unsafe, they have to walk off and you know, so yeah, I mean, it's a balance of things. We want to make the clients happy, but the clients are not following guidelines too, and then they're, you know, they're making the crew unsafe. You know, so I don't know. I mean, we put a contract together as a liability, and you know, we have to protect the business too.
What if they said, I'm not signing it? I don't want to sign it.
Then
we're already contracted. I don't need to sign anything extra.
Then we can't do the wedding. You know, it's same with housing. We're looking for a house right now, and I always say that we have to sign a contract before entering. We have to wear gloves, we have to wear a mask. You have to sign off that you were in there, and then that they're not liable for the house. They're not liable for if they have COVID in the house. You know, different world.
I think on our side it's a little bit different. I mean, we're doing our part in terms of making sure that we're staying safe. We don't really come into contact too much with people. I mean, I do, but my team doesn't really so much, because like we're really there for setup and then we kind of leave. And then if we have any turnovers, we're getting involved with like other waiters who are mostly tested. So it's a little bit different. But for myself, and I think some others, what we done in terms of contracts, which is what this started with, is we did put in place mostly, you know, just the idea of what it looks like if in the case this does continue, or you do have to push off, and how much of your money is allocated to now and how much of your money is allocated to later, how we break down the hours of work that's put in, which we've never done before because we never had to.
Right.
But now it's like we found ourselves giving back refunds to so many people. And we're like, but we put 100+ hours into your event, even though it didn't happen. Doesn't mean we didn't put the work into it. They're like, well, what product are you out of pocket for? And I'm like, well, my time.
For hours, yeah.
Hours that I dedicated to you, and then now you're saying that you're not even going forward with the event. So it's just been really much more about that. I will tell you something very interesting right now. Very interestingly right now, because the weddings are turning over so quickly, we're actually skipping contract.
Whoa.
Oh my gosh, that is so scary.
You go with the
handshake.
I have
a chapter in my book about contracts. I am huge about contracts.
I used to be, I used to not be into them at all. And then I got into them, obviously, as a professional company. But then during this time, I found it way more complicated to go through the contract phase than to just do the event. And what we've been doing, and listen, it's hurt me too. And this is kind of like something I'm putting out there in the sense of like, I've designed many events. I've spent many of time in planning, designing, coordinating, working with every planner that's been on a party, and then lost the party 3 weeks before the event because they just freaked out, everything got too much money, or they just decided they wanted to go in another direction or something small bothered them. And I never took a deposit for them. I'm talking about weddings that the turnovers are like 3 weeks.
Right, yeah.
I'm not talking about 3, 4, 5 months, 6 months out. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about the fact that we've been getting a lot of, we're getting married in 2 to 3 weeks. Can you come meet us, in the next couple of days? I'm not saying, well, you need to sign my contract first before I come meet you. I think that this time for us, and the reason why we've gotten so busy, crazily enough, is because we just said yes to every opportunity. We said, hey, we understand that this is a very trying time.
Right.
We understand that we have a lot of experience. We understand that we'll make you feel safe and taken care of. And if it makes sense for you to use us, then use us. And if it doesn't make sense for you to use us, then we are so happy that we got a chance to meet you. And when you're ready to do a bigger, better, or cooler event, you'll think of me too.
So are you afraid of your business though? Are you risk and of getting sued for anything? And
no. We have all our proper insurances. I mean, in terms of like, there's not too much I can possibly have. And so as long as I deliver what my proposal says, my proposal has a contract attached to it. It's just
okay.
Like there's no contract. It's just you are hiring us here, this format, blah blah blah, all that crazy stuff.
Okay, so you have something. Okay, it's like a handshake. Here it is. We're gonna come in and show up and.
No, I'm not just saying anything.
You're not shaking anybody's hands anyway right now.
No, I'm like elbow.
Yeah. Oh, you are. Yeah, I think that for me, I won't sign anything unless it has something about, even if it doesn't say you'll get your money back, if it just says you can reschedule, but something, because there unfortunately have been businesses who have not been very nice, and they're like, no, you lost your money. And
clients are freaking out more than.
So I'm doing it for clients, and I'm also including, like, if you have to, in the future, if you have to reschedule once, I will reschedule it. If we have to reschedule twice and it's that much extra work, then there will be an additional fee. So I had to put that in there because it's become, I mean, I've rescheduled things 2 times, 3 times. It's like I'm doing work after work after work, and it's the same fee, right? So
again, I think a lot of people are choosing. A lot of clients I think are turned off. And listen, this is a very controversial topic. I've spoken about it with many different people in our industry. I think some people have been very strong about it. I think some people have been a little bit more lax about it. I'm finding the people who are more lax about it to be more successful.
Totally.
Right now.
Yeah.
They're busier now. The clients feel more like they're on their side. Everything seems a little bit more relatable. I don't know. I'm kind of like torn at this point. Like I think that proper protocol in a normal time is the way to go because you're competing against other people who are having proper protocol and there are standards that need to be met. In these times of COVID, and this is just a personal opinion, and I know a lot of people don't agree with me, I think you have to be way more flexible. And anyone who's going to stand up and say, if I don't get it done the way that I wanted to get it done, because it's not to my standard, they're sitting at home collecting unemployment.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing.
Hopefully.
I totally agree.
I
totally agree about that.
I'd rather be, that's the truth. I'd rather be working.
Yeah, of course. I mean, but
oh my God, we're going to cause so many issues right now with this conversation, by the way.
I don't think it's an issue. You know what? You talk about unemployment. I think unemployment is almost like now they extended it, right? Well, it's $400 a week now.
Did they extend it by them?
Oh God! Now the our vendor suppliers are not gonna be motivated to work.
Right.
Nobody wants to work now. It's impossible.
It's crazy.
It's a crazy situation. What's happening is crazy, and I'm speaking to so many of my vendors who are just saying the same thing. Like, I can't get my skilled people to come back to work. They're very comfortable at home playing video games and not vinyl.
But see, to me, don't you want, I mean, half of why we're in this business is we love to be creative and we love the work. We don't want to just be sitting home.
Not everyone's like that, Amanda.
Right.
Not everyone's like that. Some people want to go to work and go home.
Right.
Well, entrepreneurs are different.
That's just something to learn.
Yeah. What about, I've been talking to different people and I'm planning forward, and I always think forward. We can think right now, of course, because we have to plan for smaller events right now, but think forward, think 2021, 2022. I'm planning for that right now. So, but when I'm calling different people, some are saying, I don't have my pricing for 2022 yet. And I'm like, can you get it together really quickly? Because we need to be able to, how am I supposed to know if we can hire you?
Are you referring to like venues, or are you referring to vendors?
Both.
Like, I wouldn't know how to charge for 2022 right now.
If I said, we want to hire you, it's only a year and a half away. If I said we want,
that's a lot.
I know for you, a week is like the norm now, but for planning purposes, a week is not the norm. So if I said, we really want to hire you for a January 2022 event, then don't you want to get hired? Like, yes.
Yeah, of course. So then
you have to have some sort of idea for pricing.
You have to figure it out. You figure it out. That's what you do. If that's really the case where you say, the way that I would do it is I would go ahead and I would design the event for today and always tell somebody I'm willing to send, like, I don't have a minimum specifically and I don't have a maximum specifically. So we really work on your budget as long as it makes sense. But I always say, like, I'll design for today, even though I know in a year from now we're going to redesign because I'm not going to do it.
I guess that's right. Yours is different. Yours is different because you're redesigning and but like, Qua, what do would you say that to someone where I can't price for 2022 right now?
No, I mean,
to me, I'm giving price. I can't say that.
Actually, we use that as hey, why don't you take on the prices right now? Because in 2022, our prices might be inflated by another 10% or something.
Yeah,
that makes sense. You are planning for now. You are charging for now because you're booking now. Not knowing where 2022 will bring. I'm on the same page with that, as opposed to saying in 2022 my prices are going to be a 20% influx and therefore it's going to be X. I don't do that either. I can't do that. Maybe for planning it makes sense because you know where you're going, but maybe photography is the same way. I don't know, but not in terms of design. I don't think so.
Yeah, that's been a challenge because then automatically my clients are not hiring that person.
Yeah, and I think for you,
or they're going to that venue.
I think for you it's tough, Amanda, because you need to get pricing from your suppliers, right? From your vendors, and you don't know what that price actually looks like for them. So you can only price for yourself.
What'd you say?
You can only price for you as the planner.
But if I'm going, like, I went to several venues with a client recently, and we went, and one of them said, we don't have the pricing for 2022 yet. That's the first step, the venue. You need the date, right? Yeah. So I said, well, they said, I only have 2021. We're looking for 2022. Can you, she's like, well, I guess we can give you 2021 in front of the client.
I agree with that. For a venue, it makes sense. I think for vendors, it doesn't always. And I think it's a job of a planner, and it's not about you, but in general, it's to like guide their budget and say, you know what, if we're in 2020 and these were the prices, let's assume it's going to be 15% higher. I don't know, 10% higher. I don't know what the normal raise is, but like, here's what it should be. So if I was spending $20,000 on photography, I'm now spending $22,000 on photography. And therefore, I'm going to budget differently, and I'm going to call my favorite photographer and say, hey, I have a job, put it on the date. We'll do the right thing for you when it comes time, but I want to use you because I like you. So, and
but
I know
that's
that
not how, I mean, my clients don't work like that. Like, they don't want to hear like, oh, it might be this. Like, if they're contracting with someone, they want to see what the price is when they're signing the contract.
Yeah, but they're signing the contract for today.
Another way to do it.
Signing the contract.
They're signing the contract now.
Yeah.
Contingency, Amanda. Contingency plan. Just put a contingency on them, saying that, hey, if it's a $30,000, whatever that is, put 10 to 15% in there. It doesn't mean that it gets used, but hey, if you do go into that place, then you got to use it. Then they agree.
No, it's fine for. I'm saying more. They have to be able to sign, right? So to me, in my opinion, you have to be able to give pricing. That's my opinion.
I respect it. If you came to me and said you have pricing for 2022, even if I didn't, I would make it happen. I would not say to you, no, I don't have my pricing yet for 2022. I'd be like, here's my pricing for 2022.
Right, you're making it happen. You're making,
I'm making it happen. This has been like really enlightening, this show, no? I like this.
It's been great. I have to tell you, I tried going on once. It's not coming up on mine, so I can't see any Q&As.
So there's nothing on mine either. So
Quad, do you have anything that you can see?
See what?
What was I supposed to do? You know that little live thing on Instagram thing that didn't happen?
Oh, that?
We're doing.
If they can't see it, you know what? We're gonna re-upload it. We're gonna re-upload this back up from because it's all streaming on Facebook. It's streaming on YouTube. It's live over there right now, and so. You know what? We tried to do this just so that everyone know, right? On the YouTube and the Facebook, is that Instagram is not built for that live streaming like the way we're trying to do it. We're trying to push the envelope, and Instagram is failing on us, right? And so, but right now, YouTube and Facebook is holding strong. It hasn't broken the stream, and so I think the best way we're gonna do is take that stream and then re-upload it back to Instagram on Instagram TV.
Okay, but do we have any Q&As from there? Or comments or anything we like to shout out to anything?
Oh, I'm not even monitoring that.
Well, next time. At least we started on time tonight, so we're getting places.
Yeah.
This has been
Last week, the power outage. Yeah, we're getting to that place.
You know what? So I think for those who watches the archives on this, it's better if they want to watch this, to go onto a Facebook, go onto a YouTube channel. We're broadcasting on the Live Picture Studios YouTube channel. We're broadcasting on Facebook. Maybe next week we'll broadcast on Amanda and Josh's Facebook, and then we start anything that's live over there. They have to go over there. Instagram, it's tough because you don't know, it's not made for it, and so.
So I apologize in advance to everyone who I said go on Smiling Through Chaos at 7 p.m. on Tuesdays.
I went on Smiling Through Chaos. I feel very let down right now.
Oh.
I was hoping to read your comments. But you're going to interrupt us, Quad, but that's okay. Anyway.
Both comments.
This was a great show.
It was such a good show. This was so fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm glad I get to do this with you guys, and I appreciate you. I know appreciate you. And that's going to become our thing, I think. And I hope you have an awesome evening and week.
Awesome.
And next Tuesday, 7 p.m.
All right.
From the first time I set my eyes on you.